This Facebook ads funnel got my client 198 qualified leads booked into the calendar in 92 days. I've launched over 600 Facebook ad funnels in 120 niches, and today I want to show you my simple 5-step funnel to take cold traffic from Facebook ads and actually convert them into hot leads who want to speak to you and your sales team. Once you have this working, it will easily add 2x, 3x, or even 10x to your business in the next year. Okay, let's get started. Alrighty, so this is our PX lead machine system. And basically with a funnel, it's not optional, right? It's just every single touch point that somebody's gonna have with your business. And each of these touch points are a potential revenue leak. So let's start with part number 1. If we zoom in over here, this is the Facebook ads. So while the ad does just get the click and it's everything that happens post-click that makes money, well, nothing happens unless we get that initial click. So step 1 of this system that we did for this client and for all of our clients is to find your $1 million ad. Now, as I was just saying, ads are important, but basically they just get the click. And what a lot of agencies or media buyers don't realize is that media buying is dead, right? You need epic ad creative and ad creative strategists that understand that psychology of how to stop somebody while on the platform. Now, basically with our clients and for this campaign in particular, we were doing video ads, so scripting them out for our client to shoot, and then we were editing them for them. A lot of copy testing and story angles in the copy as well. And that works really, really well. Now, we hire a lot of very experienced media buyers, and when they first come on board, all of them say long copy doesn't work on Facebook ads, which is untrue. It pretty much always outbeats short form copy because we don't work in the e-com space. We work in high ticket service-based businesses, right? So those longer form stories always win. So we're testing a bunch of messaging and long form copy, a bunch of ad stills, and a bunch of video ads that I would categorize more as UGC and AI. And then we just have a huge pipeline with a really clear messaging hypotheses that we want to test. Basically, the key takeaway here is big swing testing and some iterations of winning ads to scale the ad and avoid ad fatigue. So these are some of the ads that we did for this client just for launch, right? So you can see here all of these different styles of ads. Some of them are ugly on purpose. All of them have the right kind of branding. So when you land on the landing page, which I'm going to be talking about next, it's still going to feel congruent. Or this client, which is one in the finance space. And when we initially have the launch, we have a lot of pipeline in the mix. And then we keep testing more and more ads based on that initial data. So team, when we're going back to the PX lead machine system, the first step is to find your $1 million ad. And now we're at the next step. So this is step 2, what we would call that digital appointment setter and the offer. Basically, it's your landing page. Now, what we want to think about on here is, okay, where is your market in the buyer's journey? And what's the big conversation going on in their mind? And what's the next micro step to take? So what we want to think is, what we've got in the ad, is it going to be congruent with what is going to be on the landing page? Now, effectively, what I see a lot of people doing is focusing too much on step 1, on the ads, more ads. If they're even doing ad testing, which is also rare, but they think that they're going to be able to just launch a few ads and that's going to win, right? What we want to be able to do is actually send that traffic to something that's purpose built to convert them into a qualified lead. So once we have the click, we send them to this digital appointment setter. So here's a few above the folds or before somebody starts to scroll. And you can see here, we want to have really clear, exciting offers that are going to get them to fill in the form and actually shows, so what, who cares, what's in it for me when they're on the page. So the offer here for one of our home building clients is a champagne design consultation. The offer here for one of our clients in the property investment niche is a domino investment property strategy, right? So we're going to show you how to invest in a property in just 21 days. And if our market lands on this and they think, so what, who cares, what's in it for me? Then it's very clear what's the next step to take and how they become a qualified lead. Next, for a client in the finance space, they're in a slightly different stage of the buyer's journey, right? They know they need cash money to solve a cash flow problem. It's not like we would do an offer like, hey, discover why you have cash flow problems and we'll tell you 3 reasons why your cash is down and you're really stressed. They don't need that. They already know they've got a bleeding neck problem and they need to get cash fast. So you slightly tweak the offer, going back to thinking, well, what's their next micro step? And the same here for another finance client out of Canada. Again, it's like, how much can I get? How quickly can I get it? And what are going to be the rates or the repayment options? And so what we're thinking on this digital appointment setter is, well, what's the conversation that we're entering in their brain? How can we take that click and how can we turn it into a qualified lead? Okay, now we've done step 1, finding your $1 million ad, and step 2, creating that digital appointment setter. Step 3, and it's what we call your qualification and booking system. So what I see a lot on Facebook ads is people complaining because they're getting really low quality leads, or that the leads that they are getting are no-shows or they can't contact them, right? That's frustrating and it's a waste of money. So what we want to have is a qualification and booking system to get as many of those leads to commit to actually booking into the calendar. Now that digital appointment setter is going to build more authority, more scarcity, more urgency, and qualify and disqualify people. Then the people who are actually serious are going to come in and want to take up your offer. This is how they take it up. So at step 3, we want to remember that the goal is not leads. The goal is qualified leads that turn into buyers. The goal is to add money in the bank for the business, not to tick the box and get leads. And another thing to remember here is we don't want to be afraid to disqualify people. Otherwise, what you get is a tsunami of really shitty leads from your Facebook ads. And the third is you want to set the frame and build authority. And we usually do this with like an application offer. Now, there's a couple of different ways that you can build your qualification and booking system. The first that we've done for clients is to have a form, and then that form goes to a calendar. A certain percentage of them will do form to calendar, and then for everybody else, they'll have the email nurture or the retargeting. So that's the form to calendar. Now you've also got the option of the multi-step, which basically just, it's almost like a survey, right? Like they can choose questions, then a form, and then a calendar. The other option is straight to calendar with questions. Now, this always depends on what is the business's goal, where is somebody in the buyer's journey, and then testing it. Okay, so step 1 of this lead machine system, we have find your $1 million ad. It's all about lots of creative testing, good message ideas, good copy, and having a mix of video and stills and GIFs and whatever else to see what actually works in your market. Step 2, we have to send that click somewhere. So we want to have a digital appointment setter with a really strong offer. Because if you want to convert cold traffic who's never really heard of you, you need a really strong offer. And trust me, change your offer, change your business. You can have the fuggliest landing page, but if you have a super strong offer, people are going to want to take it up. Why? Because they're thinking, so what? Who cares? What's in it for me? Step 3, then when that lead or that user clicks that call to action button, we want to send them through a qualification and booking system. Now, what I usually recommend is if you're just setting this up for the first time, don't disqualify people. As you get more data feedback from the leads and from your sales team, what you'll start to see is, okay, certain leads have this, they're not a good fit. Well, let's just start to automate the disqualification in this process. And now that brings us to step 4, the thank you page, and one of the most underutilized pages on the funnel. What happens is most people, if they get the lead, they don't seize the opportunity on the thank you page. But what we want to do here is future pace and congratulate them and get them excited, right? Build that momentum. Because if you're getting a lot of no-shows, that means you haven't built enough excitement, value, and anticipation in what you're offering. Now, what we can also do on the thank you page, because we just got them to do something, right? They just submitted that form. Now we can get them to do something else. It's also your opportunity to spend more time with them, educate and excite, and help to reduce those no-shows. So on the page, you might have something like a video, some FAQ videos, a reminder to put the consultation, and more testimonials. For us at PX in my agency, we have a more basic thank you page that we're testing. So we want them to watch this video and that's it. It tells them more about what they're going to get on the call and what we do. And then we also have a really in-depth prep doc. And basically all we're trying to do is show them that we know our stuff, right? Build that authority. So that we have this really long PDF that shows people our testimonials, more about our system, and gets them excited about the value they're going to get from the call. Now, the final step number 5, are our email and SMS nurtures in this funnel. And you can see here, this kind of plugs it all together. And this is not rocket science or like necessarily revolutionary. It's literally just thinking, okay, I have a real person and they're having a real conversation in their head. They've got a real problem to solve. My goal is to get them to become a qualified booked lead. What needs to happen? How do I reverse engineer the system to help me to achieve that goal? So now we have everything plugged in with these automations. One big thing about this is that most businesses are really obsessed with getting more leads, but they don't do anything with the leads. So what happens is they get on a call, maybe they don't answer, maybe they're not ready now, and then they go into the discard pile, if anybody even follows them up. And so just because this person wasn't ready right now on your time, you've considered that a dead lead and you've discarded it. But actually what we want to do is a bit more nurturing. Now there's longer term nurturing, but there's also this nurturing here. Now this is going to depend on your funnel, your drop-off points. But for this client in particular, what we did was if they filled in the form, but then did not book in the calendar, because that's a drop-off point, we had this booking reminder flow, right? It's like not scheduled. So we can do an email and an SMS, and then we can also do like for this client, they have an office and they have admin staff. So through Go High Level, we would do a forced outbound call. And then if they didn't answer, we would have a voicemail recording set up, right? So either they're going to connect and then they'll book them in on the phone, or there's a voicemail recording that goes out. Then we'll have more emails, more SMS, etc. And the other good thing is we don't have to rely on people to do their job. We can set up these automations and have it all working on its own, right? And so another thing that I see is people want to like automate the shit out of this. They don't want anyone to do anything, but you still need the human touch. What you want to do is see where can we reduce human errors to open up someone's brain for more creativity and doing higher leverageable tasks, not necessarily completely remove humans from the experience. The next flow is what we call the pre-swayed flow. So this happens if they book into the calendar before the call, because traditionally that's dead time, right? And what we want to do is make sure they show up. So if we've got the lead, we want to get them on that call. Now, what people might do is just leave the default Calendly notifications like, hi, you've got a call, don't forget, boring. How can we use these more powerfully? So what we might do is send the welcome video. That's what we did for this client. And then we want to think about, okay, what are the false beliefs and objections? What's our best social proof ammunition? And how can we start to warm them up before the call? This is very custom to each client, and usually we've got to talk to the sales team. So you can think about things like, what are the biggest misconceptions or education that somebody needs that if somebody came to that call, it would be a lot better for you? Or what is your best social proof that you know if you put that video testimonial or that case study in front of somebody, they're sold. They think it's awesome, right? Now, these are not meant to be super long emails because at the end of the day, they kind of are like reminder emails, but you want to think, what's your most powerful asset or your most powerful thing that you can put in here to get them excited? Okay, now we can see here, I know sometimes seeing, like the first time I saw a funnel map, my brain melted out my ears. So this is the first time, let me just break it down again. Facebook ads to a landing page, to a multi-step. Do they fill in the form? If yes, they go to the calendar page. If they go to the calendar page and they don't book, they go through this flow. If they go to the calendar page and they book, they see the thank you page, yeah? If they've done all that, they'll get the pre-swayed flow because they've booked in for a call. Now, the next question on everybody's mind is, do they show up? Now, one of the things you can, of course, do that we advise our clients to do is to call them straight away. And you can say something like, hey, we just had somebody cancel, just wanted to see if you wanted to take an earlier spot. It sounds like it was pretty urgent. You wanted to talk about it. Whatever. Even if they don't want that slot, right? Then at least you can confirm the appointment and you get that commitment and consistency. They're going to show up. So, okay, do they show up? If no, they go into a no-show flow. That's where you can call them. So if you've got a Google Meet, you can call them or you can message them or you can email them, and then you set up some follow-up. Now, if they don't ever reply, whatever, you can put them into a longer form nurture, but I'm not going to talk about that on here. And if they do show up, they have the sales call, which ideally all you're doing is giving value and seeing if they're a good fit. And then there's an outcome, right? So for our clients, that might look like they're ready to buy, they're not ready, we didn't win or we lost the lead, or it's not a fit. Then we tag that information in the CRM. And then what happens is that data comes back and gives us better and new ideas for new ads. Additionally, ways to plug the funnel and find what economics need to be better. So team, that's effectively it. Those are the 5 different stages of our lead machine system. That's how we got that client epic results, but it's the same framework that we use for all clients. Okay, now it's choose your own adventure. If you are a 7 or 8 figure brand who wants to get more qualified leads and profitably scale your paid ads, then there's a link in the description to book in a call with myself and my team, and we'll show you how we can do this for you, manage your ads, all completely done for you. Or if you want to DIY this yourself and you want to learn a little bit more, this next video is going to show you how we create our system for $1 million ads. Hope you enjoyed. See you on the next video.